In this lesson, we will round decimals by using our knowledge of place value. Remember that when we round numbers, we are determining which benchmark number it is closest to. Learning to round decimal numbers will help us when we need to estimate. In this lesson, you will learn how to round decimals to different places. Let's start with 6 and 25/100ths. We will round it to the nearest whole number. The first question you should ask when rounding is, what does the number look like? Remember, with decimals, we use a flat to represent one whole, a rod to represent 1/10, and a unit to represent 1/100th. So to show 6 and 25/100ths, we need 6 ones, as shown here with 6 flats, 2/10ths, as shown with 2 rods, and 5/100ths, as shown with 5 units. 6 ones plus 2/10ths plus 5/100ths equals 6 and 25/100ths. Once you can visualize the decimal, the next question you ask when rounding is, what number is it between? Since we are rounding to the nearest whole number, I want to ask, which two whole numbers is 6 and 25/100ths between? I know 6 and 25/100ths is greater than 6, but less than 7. It is helpful to locate the midway or halfway point between 6 and 7 on the number line. I know 6 and 5/10ths is halfway between 6 and 7. I can divide the number line into tenths to help locate 2/10ths greater than 6. I know 6 and 2/10ths is less than 6 and 5/10ths. Lastly, to round 6 and 25/100ths to the nearest whole number, we ask, what number is it closest to? Since 6 and 25/100ths is less than 6 and 5/10ths, and we can see on the number line it is closer to 6, it will round to 6. Now we will round 6 and 25/100ths to a different place, the tenths place. To do this, we will ask ourselves the same questions. What does the number look like? Which numbers is it between? And finally, what number is it closest to? Remember, 6 and 25/100ths looks like this. 6 ones, 2/10ths, and 5/100ths. I know that 10/100ths makes 1/10, and I can see 6 and 25/100ths has 5/100ths. If I were to add 5 more hundredths to this number, I will make another tenth and have 3/10ths total. On a number line, I can see that 6 and 25/100ths is between 6 and 2/10ths and 6 and 3/10ths. It is exactly halfway between the 2/10ths. You can divide the number line into 10 equal pieces called hundredths to help you label 6 and 25/100ths. I can see that 6 and 25/100ths is 5/100ths less than 6 and 3/10ths, and 5/100ths greater than 6 and 2/10ths. When a number you are rounding is the same distance from each benchmark number, you always round up. So 6 and 25/100ths rounds to 6 and 3/10ths. Let's try one more example. In this example, we will round 6 and 257/1000ths to the nearest hundredth. We first need to visualize what this decimal number looks like. It is similar to 6 and 25/100ths from the previous examples, but it extends into the thousandths place. To show this number, we will use small dots to represent thousandths. I can see 6 ones, 2/10ths, 5/100ths, and 7/1000ths make 6 and 257/1000ths. Since we are rounding to the nearest hundredth, I will ask, which two hundredths is 6 and 257/1000ths between? I know that 10/1000ths make 1/100th, so 6 and 257/1000ths is greater than 6 and 25 hundredths, but less than 6 and 26 hundredths. I can see that 6 and 255 thousandths is halfway between 6 and 25 hundredths and 6 and 26 hundredths. To help me locate the decimal I want to round, in this problem, I can divide the number line into 10 equal pieces called thousandths. 6 and 257 thousandths is 7 thousandths greater than 6 and 25 hundredths and 3 thousandths less than 6 and 26 hundredths. Since it is greater than 6 and 255 thousandths, we round